This problem states, for the following rational function, write the equations for the vertical asymptotes and the horizontal asymptote. So here is our function. So quickly, let's review how to find the vertical asymptotes. So to find the vertical asymptotes of a rational function, you must look at the function in simplified form. That means there are no common factors in the numerator and the denominator. Then any resulting zeros of the denominator are vertical asymptotes. So let's take a look at our function. We need to make sure that nothing reduces before we look for vertical asymptotes. So we need to factor everything. The numerator is already factored. Now let's look at our denominator. How many terms are there? There are two terms. The first term is a square, the last term is a square, and it's the difference of two squares. So this will definitely factor into two binomials. The first term is the square root of x squared. The last term is the square root of 4, and they have opposite signs between them. So now I've totally factored my rational function. Does anything reduce? No. So this is the simplified form of my rational function. So to find our vertical asymptotes, we need to find the zeros of the denominator. So we're going to set the denominator equal to 0. So two things multiplied together equals 0. Set each of them equal to 0. So I get x plus 2 equals 0 and x minus 2 equals 0. From the first one, subtract 2 from both sides. I get x equals negative 2. And the second one, add 2 to both sides. You get x equals positive 2. So these are the equations of my two vertical asymptotes. So now we need to find the equation of the horizontal asymptote. That depends on the degree of the numerator and the degree of the denominator. So looking at my numerator, what is the degree of x minus 3? What's the highest exponent on any of the x's? 1. So the degree of the numerator is 1. Looking at your denominator, what's the degree of the denominator? The highest exponent is a 2. So the degree is equal to 2 of the denominator. So we can see the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator. So the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator. And this is often called a bottom-heavy equation because the degree of the denominator is greater than the degree of the numerator. And what does this mean? Well, in finding horizontal asymptotes, if the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of the denominator, which is what we have in this case, the horizontal asymptote of the graph is the x-axis, otherwise known as the line y equals 0. So in our case, our horizontal asymptote is going to be y equals 0.